Hi honeys, and welcome back to Girl Do It For You podcast. I'm your host, Ashlea Chapdelaine. Let's get right on into it. Hi honeys, welcome back to another episode of Girl Do It For You. Something I struggle with a lot, actually, is motivation, right? I feel like everyone can relate to that. Every now and again, your motivation will lack, and you just, you go through the little plateaus of life, and I just feel like I need to get out of that rut because I always promise myself these things and then I just don't do them. I don't follow through with them because I'm disappointing myself. But the way I look at it is well, no one's going to be mad at me but me. And I can live with that. And the more I was talking just out loud about it and all this stuff that I was I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do whatever, right? And I just wasn't following through with it. And I was you promise yourself all of these things and then you never show up for yourself. Why? No one else is going to show up for you, so why don't you show up for yourself? And it's if you tell a friend you're going to do something, you do it because you don't want to disappoint them. You want to show up for them. You want to be there for them. Why don't you do that for you? Because no one else is going to do it for you. So if you're not going to do it, no one's going to do it. Why is it why can't you show up for yourself? And a lot of it has to do with motivation because you need the motivation to do things and you won't always have it, right? Whereas if your friend is waiting on you to do something, it's a little motivating that, oh, they'll be upset if I don't do it, or oh, they'll be mad at me, or oh, they'll be disappointed. So it's you want to do it. That pushes you to have the motivation that you don't have. But when it's yourself, it's easier to just be I don't want to do it because whatever, right? So for example, going to the gym. I had been telling myself for months, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to start, I'm going to be consistent, I'm going to go, this is just what I want to do, I think I need it for my mental and all this stuff, and I would never do it. I'd always be next week. And I find that there are certain parts of my cycle where I'm highly motivated, right, and it's all because my hormones and your energy levels are high. So right after your period, your follicular phase, you are top peak motivation. I, in that period, will come up with podcast ideas, TikTok ideas, I want to do all of the things, I want to go to the gym, and I want to do all this stuff. But in my head, I couldn't get out the fact that I don't have time for that. And then something else would happen. And then I would be in the thick of my luteal phase and not want to do any of it. And it was a constant cycle every month. Until one day I just decided I'm going to go to the gym because I think I need it for my mental. And I always put in my head that I couldn't go to the gym after work because of my dogs. But that's just simply not true. The gym takes an hour. My dogs will be fine. I usually come home early anyways, and so it wasn't a big deal if they have to wait until 5:30 until I get home. Me going to the gym and prioritizing myself was much more beneficial. They'll be fine if they're left for one more hour. They're okay. I let them out before I go to work. They're fine. But in my head, I couldn't do that. I couldn't leave them an extra hour. And I don't know why. I had this strict schedule with myself that you leave work, you go home, you walk the dogs, and then you either do laundry or you start prepping dinner or you wash the floors or you clean something. It was every day, it was dogs, clean a thing in the house, start the laundry and maybe make a TikTok, start dinner. Husband comes home, we eat, and then maybe we sit down for a minute. Generally not, because generally I was off doing something else to clean up for the house, and then we go to bed. And that was me every day. And if I didn't get to clean one thing in the house, or I didn't get to do dinner, or I didn't get home on time when I had this schedule made up, and it wasn't something I wrote down, it was in my head. And I was just constantly I need to do this, and pressuring myself. Why? And if that schedule got screwed up, oh my God, you would have thought the world was ending. I couldn't handle the schedule being screwed up. Even though it wasn't a fixed schedule, it was made up in my head. And so figuring things out, I'm oh, okay, I have a control problem, which I didn't like hearing that at first, but I'm working through it, I'm getting better. And I had to stop being the one that puts all this pressure on myself, because it's not my husband won't clean and he won't do certain things, he won't cook dinner, he will. I was just doing it before he came home because, he works an hour away, I work 20 minutes away, so I'm always home before him, and so I always try to get stuff done when he's never asked me to make sure dinner's made when he comes in. He's never expected me to have the floors cleaned or have the if he comes in from work and I'm sitting on the couch, he doesn't generally care But in my head, I'm like, I can't do that. I look lazy. And it's so crazy that you get in your own head for stuff like that that's just not needed, right? And my therapist had told me that your first year of your relationship and your first year of marriage kind of resets your relationship a little bit. Like everything you do in your first year is what they're going to expect from then on, right? Same as your first year of your relationship. Whatever you show is what the person's going to expect forever. And so when we first started dating, I realized that I had always made dinner for him. Like always. It was just a thing. I enjoy to cook, so it was fine. And I'm a really big clean, like I gotta clean things. And so I would do that. I did it again when we got married. I didn't change my thing because it was a 3-year difference. And I thought about it and I was like, she's right. He just expects me to make dinner because I always have. Not because because for the past 4.5 years, I have made dinner every night. And he's like, for him, without saying a word. And it's always started by the time he comes in at like 6:30, he comes home and dinner's always started. So it's like an expectation that I gave to myself for, I don't know. And so I spoke to him and I was like, look, you need to take dinner some nights. And he was like, okay, you need to sit down and like realize that like, don't do anything, then let me come home and do dinner. And I was like, and that's been really hard for me to just like sit and not do things while he's at work. Like I'm very uncomfortable with it and we're trying to figure out why I'm uncomfortable with it, but I can't. And it's so weird, the little things that you do that you don't realize you're adding stressors or you're lacking motivation because you think you have all of this stuff to do when you don't, especially when you have a partner and you can share the responsibilities of a household. It's so hard to get yourself out of that rut and give yourself something to do for you. Like you're doing all these things for other people and you're neglecting yourself. And so we had that conversation. So I started going to the gym. And even when I don't want to go, like I go after work, so I have to pack my bag. There are some days where I'm like, I don't want to pack my bag. I'll just leave it at the house and then oopsies, can't go to the gym. Like, why? Just get to the gym. And the thing is I'm not very strict on, I'm not trying to grow muscle like crazy and become a bodybuilder and eat all this stuff. And I'm not trying to do that. I am solely going to the gym just to be healthy and just as like a stress and anxiety release. Like I go and I'll just run sometimes. I won't even actually like work out. I'll run on the treadmill or I'll do the Stairmaster and just for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes and then I'll leave because it helps me. I've noticed it's so funny. Like when I come home after I've been to the gym, I'm just like, I'm slowed down, if that makes sense. Before I was very like, do this, just go. You have to do this. You got 10 minutes to do this. Like pressuring myself. And there was no need for it at all. And so I have noticed that going to the gym has really made me like, just like take a breath and relax and feel so much better. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So I get home and the dogs go outside and I play with the dogs outside. And then I come in and then I put away my things for the day and I maybe clean up the kitchen a little bit, or if I'm really tired, I'll sit on the couch now and give myself a minute to relax. And then because I'm coming home like an hour and a half later than I normally would, Matthew is coming home pretty much the same time, if not 5 minutes later, and we'll cook dinner together, or he'll cook dinner and I'll sit down, or I'll go shower, or maybe I do have laundry to do. Like it's just made me become like with a slower pace, and I'm really liking it. Because I feel like I was getting so high strung and it was making my anxiety and stress like a level up here, a little 10. And I didn't need to be like that at all. Like, and I put that pressure on myself, and you give yourself all of these tasks and you overload yourself, and that's when your cup overflows. And you can't give from an empty cup. Or that's what I meant to say, but that's not what I meant. You can't, when you overflow yourself, your own cup, you can't be there for everyone else. And you can't show up in life in the way you want to show up. You can't do the things that you need to do because you are constantly trying to do all these other things for other people, for your house, because you think you have to, because of social media, because of a standard that tells you have to do that, and you don't. If you get the motivation to just take care of your mind or your body or anything like that in a certain way that is good for you, no matter what that looks like, that's what you need to, like, that's amazing, and I'm so proud of you, and you need to just get yourself started. Like, honestly, yes, motivation is such a big part in getting yourself there constantly, but you're not always going to have the motivation to do the things that you don't really want to do. Like when I don't want to show up to the gym, or sometimes I don't even want to go to therapy. But you have to do these things to just keep yourself sane. Honestly, people have hobbies, and I didn't have a hobby for a really long time. And I guess now you could say the gym is my hobby, but I used to hate walking the dogs. It was like a chore. Now I am like, oh, when it gets dark, can we take the dogs on a walk? Oh, I'd love to take the dogs on a walk, because I actually enjoy walking and I enjoy stretching my legs, and like may as well take the dogs for some exercise. So it's like, and I take my husband, well, I don't take my husband. I go with my husband, I put my phone down and we just talk about our day, and it's like a stress relief because you're walking and talking everything out. And it's really nice. And so it's something that I've actually found is that exercise is good for me, which is so funny because a year ago, hell, 6 months ago, I wouldn't have said the same thing. 6 months ago, I don't go to the gym, I don't work out, I don't really care, blah, 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 blah. And people were like, well, it's fun to work out, it's a stress relief for me, or I really enjoy it. And because I had such a hatred for the gym, I had tried to go to the gym when I was in college, and I hated it. It wasn't for me. It wasn't fun. It wasn't something I enjoyed. I went consistently. I never saw results. I hated it, but I did it. And I think I grew this like hatred towards working out because of it. And now I'm like, I actually enjoy this. And I don't put the pressure to go 7 days a week, hell, even 5 days a week. I just go when I can. And usually it's between 3 to 5 times a week is what I aim for. But sometimes I can only get there twice a week. Sometimes I just physically cannot be there more than that. Like I try to go after work, and like tonight, it's a Saturday, we're going to go, Matthew's at work. When he comes home, we're going to go to the gym. Because like you can fit it into your schedule. But I was always like, no, you can't. No, I don't have time for that. But you do. And you need to take time for yourself, no matter what that looks like. Whether it's, I know a lot of people have picked up pickleball. Go play pickleball with friends. Matthew loves to work on his car. That's his hobby. Go work on your car. Go wash your car. Like my one really good friend, she likes to color. She bought this amazing coloring pen pack, and that's how she does her gardening, and she colors in her books, and that's her stress relief, and that's her hobby. Like you have to have the things for you for your mental sake. You have to take care of yourself. And it's hard, but if you enjoy it, it's a good thing to have. And like until you find something that you enjoy, it's going to be hard. But it's good. And so when I find myself at a certain point in my phase, I'm like, at the gym, let's go, we're going to do this, da 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 da. And then when I get my plateau of my luteal phase, and I'm like, I hate my life, I don't want to do this. Forcing myself, I have noticed, to just not put such a pressure on, you have to live a heavy weight, you have to do leg day twice a week, an arm day, an ab day, and you have to do... If I just go and move my body, I feel 100 times better about myself. I am relaxed, and... yeah, like I didn't work out my arms and nothing's going to be sore tomorrow because I just ran on the treadmill, or I just did the Stairmaster, or I just went on a walk. But it's like, for me, that gives me what I needed to give me, and that's all that really matters. Because you're not in competition with anybody. And I know social media is terrible for it, and social media and society standards of how you should look and what you should do and what your morning and night should look like, and everyone's got an opinion, but it's what's good for you. You're in competition with yourself and yourself only. You're not in competition with anybody else in the world. You. Because you are not the same as anybody else. No two individuals are the same. And so what works for you won't work for someone else, and what works for them won't work for you. So you have to find your joy, your happiness, and where that comes from, and what makes you happy and gives you something to look forward to in the days and de-stresses you. And I know a lot of people have high demanding jobs that are very stressful, and it's like, okay, maybe you don't want to go exercise because you're so tired at the end of your shift, but find what it is that is relaxing for you, that is calming, that gives you a purpose to do things, and make sure that your mental is like good. You know, did that make sense? But it's also like some people don't have the motivation to just go to therapy because it's uncomfortable, and it is, don't get me wrong. I leave therapy sometimes and I'm like, oh my god, I hate that was awful. But it's good to work on yourself, to become a better person, to become the best version of you. And that's why I think it's important to have hobbies, to do the things that you like. And it also goes with like, don't let other people tell you what you should be doing and who you should be friends with and what you should be doing with your life. do what you want to do because it's your life, not theirs. No one's going to live your life but you. So just because someone told you have to go into this career field because it'll look good and you have to climb the corporate ladder so that you can have a retirement and you can have all of this stuff and climb the corporate ladder because people love to see that, and there might be a gap on your resume if you take a year off to figure out what you want to do or whatever. Like, it's not their life. If you don't want to climb the corporate ladder, don't. If you want to take a gap year, take a gap year. When people say, oh, aren't you worried about the gap in your resume? No. Because what? I took a year off to be a stay-at-home mom, to travel the world, to just experience life. I'm not sorry for that, and I won't ever apologize for that. Like, it's my life. So you can't really give opinion on other people's lives unless you've lived it, right? It's like, unless you've walked in my shoes, don't tell me how to tie the laces. But yeah, so like, you don't know my life, you don't know what works for me, you don't know what I like to do, and you don't know what I've been through, right? You don't know anyone else's life but your own. And so don't take advice from someone whose life you don't want. Like, why are you going to listen to someone who tells you to climb the corporate ladder because that's what they did and start saving for your retirement? I don't want your life. I don't want to work until I die. I don't want to just live to pay my bills. Like, that's not what I want. And so it's like, don't tell me how to do that. And if people are telling you, just don't listen, honestly, because they don't know what you want in life. Like, I don't want to climb the corporate ladder. I don't ever want to do that. I don't want to work to pay my bills. And people always keep telling me, my husband, like, you need to buy a house, you need to buy a house, you need to invest. It's so good. I can't believe you guys are still renting. I can't believe how much you pay for rent because that's what would be my mortgage and da-da-da-da. First of all, who asked for your opinion? People are so opinionated, it's ridiculous. Second of all, you bought your house 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. Prices are ridiculous right now with interest. I don't know if y'all have looked. I can't afford a house. And no, my rent would not be the same as I pay for, like, my mortgage would not be the same as my rent, for the size of house that we pay for. My mortgage would be like probably double what we pay. And it's like, we can't afford that. That's why we rent with what we can afford. So it's like, don't give your opinions unless you're going to go buy a house right now or you're going to buy me the house and then shut up. It's just crazy. People feel entitled to an opinion and it's like, I didn't ask. So it's not your life. If I want to take a gap year because I want to go travel all of Europe with my husband, I'm going to do that. So be it. If I want to be a stay-at-home mom and take time off of work, I'm going to do it because it's my life. And that's what makes me happy. Live for you. Do not live for other people. Do not live for social media. Don't live for other people's opinions or standards of what they think you should be doing. And whose timeline you're on your own, okay? You're on no one else's but your own. And everything will work out. But when people are constantly shoving opinions down your throat, it's like, the amount of people that told us that we should be buying when we first rented this house 2 months ago was ridiculous. I got so tired of it. Me and my husband would come home and just be like, can people shut up for 5 minutes? Like, keep your opinion to yourself. Like, this is what we're doing because we want to. Also, again, people who I thought knew us were giving these opinions. We don't want to stay in Florida. Why the hell am I going to buy a house to just leave? That makes no sense. But people, again, with an opinion, well, what if you end up liking it? Well, what? Okay, and what if? What is the rush? When we want to buy a house, whose business is that? Mine. And that's it. If I want to rent for the rest of my life, whose problem's that? Mine. It's not theirs. So it's just, people are always going to give their input. People are always going to, you just have to take it with a pinch of salt or let it just go right over your head or tell them to be quiet because that's just it's not what we're doing. Like, we don't need everyone's opinions in our life. And that's where it gets hard because then you start listening to all the voices and you're like, am I doing the right thing? Should I be doing this? And all of that pressure and stress comes back on of doing the right thing. The right thing is what you want to do, actually. That's it. Oh, you shouldn't be getting married so young. Oh, you guys got engaged really quickly. Okay. We got so much shit for getting engaged after 10 months. Everyone's like, can't believe you guys got engaged already. I'm like, can't believe my man knew he wanted to marry me. Like, I don't understand. He knew what he wanted, he got it. God forbid. Now we've been together 4.5 years and married for 2. So I don't know, like, what we're getting out of that. People are always going to have an opinion on everything. And that's why I hate social media. And I hate the standard that people have created for things. Same with, like, the beauty industry. Like, oh, you have to look a certain way. You have to act a certain way. You have to do... Why are there rules for letting people just living their life? I've learned through a lot of work and a lot of soul searching, we'll call it, that I don't want to work till I die. I want to have some babies, and I want to raise those babies with a mum and a dad that are so happily in love that they see that, and a mum that's home, and I can take care of them and nurture them when when they need me to be, when they are at their most vulnerable stages. I want to be there for them. I want to be home. Like, I am so passionate about this, and so, like, there's like a fuel in me, a fire in me that's just like meant to be a mum. I am meant to be a mum. I want to stay at home. I want to raise the children. I want to live that life. That is what I want to do. I want to have my babies with my husband and have our little family and just be happy. And I want to take them on vacation with us. I want to do all these things because some people believe that when you have children, you have to then base your world around them. And it's like, yes, to a degree. They can come and do the things that I always done. They're coming into my life. If I go home, say I have a baby and then I want to go back to Scotland to visit everybody, baby's coming with. I'm not going to, can't go because have a baby. No. If I like to go to a certain restaurant with my husband, baby can come with. I'm not at a bar. I'm at a restaurant. Babies are allowed in restaurants. I'm not going to stop living my life because I have a kid. Because that's how you get people who are miserable, and it's because they're at mommy and me classes, or they're always doing things that are for children. Like, yes, you're not going to enjoy all of that. Now, sure, you can do the occasional, obviously, Disney trip for the kids and what the kids want to do. Of course, like, I'm not saying you never do it. Don't hear what I'm not saying. But you bring them into your life. And my parents were very much like that. They took us everywhere. But it helps children learn social standards and how to act and how to behave in situations. Like, we used to get on planes at 6 months old, so I knew what to do when we flew. Flying, my parents never had to worry about flying with us. Because this is just what we do. You fly, you play, you eat your Pringles, you have a good day, you doodle on the thing, get off the plane. Like, you sit still for the 8 hours and that's it. And I just think everyone's opinion and everyone's ideas, they're not yours. And it also goes with the same of, like, when people say you have to be friends with this person, oh, you can't treat that person like that, or you can't set that boundary because that's mean. Okay, did they do the mean thing to you that they did to me? No. So therefore, they were rude to me, there's a boundary going up immediately. Immediately. So unless that happened to you by them, you don't get an opinion. You don't get an opinion on who I'm friends with, who I talk to, who I hang out with, what I think is right. If I don't like that person, I don't like that person. And if someone is not giving the energy to you as you're giving to them, bye-bye. Get it. Like, we're not doing that. I had stopped talking to a friend. Actually, no, that's not true. I told them how it was. I told them how they were acting. And I said, I don't like it. I said, you're not treating me very well. You're treating me like you don't care about this friendship. And I put a lot of energy into this friendship because I like you as a friend. I love you as a friend. And I wanted to be a part of your life. We've been friends for a couple years. And they decided they didn't like that. And I never spoke to them again. Or they never spoke to me again. And I was like, okay. People don't like the truth. People don't like the honest truth. And they will tell you, oh, just tell me how it is. I can handle it. I prefer you to be honest than cover up with a lie. And then you tell them, hey, I don't like how you acted in that situation. It wasn't very nice. It was rude or disrespectful or hurtful or whatever it was. And then all of a sudden they don't like that. It's so funny. If I'm pointing out your actions and you don't like that you're the villain in the story, maybe you don't act like that. If you don't like that when I'm telling a story of how you treated me, how it makes you look bad, maybe you should fix your actions, and maybe you should figure out that you're treating people badly and not do it. That's not my burden to bear that you don't like that you're the villain in my story. You want to act and treat someone bad, and then when they talk about it, they have to be silenced because it doesn't look good, it doesn't sound nice for you. I don't really care. I am done being silenced because it saves the face of your name. Don't speak bad on her. Her name will sound bad, or them, or he, or family member, anybody. I don't care. I'm not doing this. Keep the peace. I'm not doing this. Keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. We have to look like a certain way. I don't care. You don't get to belittle me. You don't get to be rude to me. You don't get to be rude to my husband or my children or anyone of the matter that I deem family, friends, close people that I love, and expect me to just roll over and be like, okay, no, I'm done with it. Done with all of people's rudeness and nastiness. This world is so cruel, and I'm not here for it. And I have been through a lot of things that I just pray don't change me as a person, and I'm trying my best to not hold on to a lot of things, but I'm moving on with things, and I just will simply not speak to you again, and that's how I'm choosing to move on. And if people think they have an opinion on that, you're wrong. You don't get to choose how I figure out how to heal what you broke. That's not your opinion. I have to do the work. I have to put in the therapy hours. I have to work on myself through the trauma. You do not get to decide how I heal from that. That is not for you to decide. And if you don't like it, I don't really care anymore. I used to be such a people pleaser. I still am to an extent. We're working on it. But I can't anymore. It's not good for me. Like, why? Why is everyone else? Why am I pleasing everybody else but me? And that goes back to what I started talking about. You do all these things, you show up for other people, you don't show up for yourself. Why? Why are you okay with letting yourself down? Because you shouldn't be. You are the only person that is going to be there for you no matter what. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to do what needs to be done for you. It's your life. You only get one shot. And if you are so lucky that you find people that are your support system, that are so got your back, ride or dies, keep them. Don't let them go. Please, they are people who only want the best for you. Those are people who will stand on your name and defend you when you're not around. Those are the people you need to be surrounded by. Not the fake friends or the fake people who don't speak bad about her, blah, 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 blah. And then the second you turn your back, they're bad-mouthing you with them. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If someone felt so comfortable bad-mouthing me to you, why? Why are they that comfy? Because they shouldn't be. I can never wrap my head around the way people act about their friends or treat their friends in such a bad manner, because I would never. I could never. Even people I don't talk to anymore, I might say they were a bad friend in the end, or they did this and they hurt me, but I will never badmouth you that bad, because there was probably love and a relationship there somewhere, right? We were friends for a reason, but obviously something happened, whether it was me or you or whatever. We're no longer friends. But I'm not going to badmouth you because we were friends for a while. Or maybe not a while. Whatever it may be. I just could never imagine being friends with someone and then badmouthing them when they're not in that room. Because I like my friends, believe it or not. And it goes the same for your husband. Me and Becca talk about this constantly. We used to have friends who hated their spouses, and we're like, why are you married to them? God forbid we love our husbands and actually like them. People are always you always hang out with your husband, or you're obsessed with your husband, you talk about your husband, you post your God forbid I love the person I'm married to and I want to hang out with him and I want to spend all of my time with him because I actually like him. Like, why is that such a weird concept? Same with my friends. I can hang out with my friends forever because I love my friends. I like to hang out with my friends because I enjoy the company. That's why it works. I am very grateful that now there is not a single friendship I have that I doubt that they back my name when I'm not there. I've had friendships in the past where I'm like, I know they don't defend my name when I'm not in the room. I know it. I just knew it. And it's not a nice feeling. But now I'm like, I have such a close and tight and small little friendship circle. And I know my friends would never talk bad about me behind my back. Ever. I know if someone mentioned my name in a bad manner, they would immediately get up and be like, no. They would defend me. And I know that. And it is such a comforting thing to have when you have your people. Same as my husband. I know he's not talking about me behind my back. I know he likes hanging out with me. I know he enjoys my company just as much as I enjoy his. I know just as much as I'm obsessed with him, he's obsessed with me. Like, everything is reciprocated. And that's how relationships and friendships work. Like, it has to be a mutual. And there's been times, I'm sure you guys have felt the same, where your friends just don't give the same and you're like, something's off. It's because they just don't have the same connection or the same love for you. And it sucks. But they are not your friends because you can't trust them. I have family members like that and I'm like, great, cool, I'm not telling you anything because I can't trust you. And I know they're talking shit behind my back. I just don't associate with them. I don't really speak to them and I just don't be seen with them because I don't really like you. And that's fine. If you're going to talk about me behind my back and hang out with all these people who clearly don't like me, you are not someone I need to be associated with. You are not someone I want to have a relationship with. That's fine. And it's taken me a while to come to that, but I'm not doing it anymore. It is what it is. So once you find your people, it's honestly so nice. I have like 2 friends and I'm 100% okay with that. I don't really care. I don't need 100 friends. For what? I know the friends I have my back. And I know my husband has my back. He has defended my name more times than I can count. And I would do the same for him. I haven't had to, but sadly he has for me. It's just the way it is. Be kind to people. The world is a cruel place, okay? People are always after others and trying to manipulate and gaslight, and everyone's trying to outdo each other. I'm just wanting to find my place, and I just want to be happy and live my life, and that is all I care about. And I honestly feel like I'm there. Like, sure, there are things I want to do in life, but we're getting there. I am finally at a place of peace and happiness, of just like, I can breathe. I have good friends. I have a fabulous husband. I do things that are good for my mental health. I started working out. I got a hobby. I have my dogs. And sure, there are bad days, right? Everyone's got a bad day every now and then. But it's not a bad life. You're working through it. And that's okay. And as long as you're working on yourself to be the best version of you, it's all you can do. And I'm proud of you. Live your life for you. It's your life. No one else's. And anybody's opinion on your life and your life experiences and what you've been through does not matter. You don't have to listen to them at all. You can tell them I said that. As always, I love you, honeys, and I will see you guys next Friday. Goodbye.